In this video, we'll focus on a very important content browser, and you'll find this on the bottom of the editor. Content browser is your content management system inside Unreal Engine, and it will contain all the assets that you will use inside your level, such as textures, materials, maps, blueprints, static meshes, particle effects, audio, and you will use the content browser and insert that object into your map. You will also use the content browser to import any assets. If you need to import textures or static meshes, you will use the content browser to do so. So you will be using content browser a lot in order to construct your level. Now, in order to show you how to use the content browser, I'm going to open up content browser in another window. Due to the recording size of this video, it's here on the bottom, it's rather small. And I can pull this up to show you, but what I'm going to do is go to Window, Content Browser, and open up a new tab so you can see a little bit better. I'm also going to take this tab and dock it on the very top. And from here we can switch back to our map, use the content browser on the bottom, or use the full screen content browser. The very first thing I want to show you is the content folder. Inside this content folder is all of your content for this project. Since we're using a first-person blueprint template, you have a first-person blueprint template folder that contains a lot of assets such as animation, audio, blueprint, meshes, etc. And then we have starter content, which we included when we started this project. This starter content also includes additional textures, materials, blueprints, and static meshes. We then also created our own folder called My Maps, and here we have the blank map that we created. This content folder structure simply organizes your content, and as you can see, a lot of this content has been organized by categories: materials, particles, textures, blueprints. So what we're going to do is we're going to reorganize our own content a little bit better. So let's go ahead, right click and create a new folder, or you can also go up here and add new. Use the drop down menu and create a new folder from here. Now as you can see, this created a new folder inside starter content. We don't want this. So it is important to note that when you're creating folders or importing content, that you choose in which folder you want to create and import that content into. So what we want is create a new folder inside the content so it shows up underneath content folder. So let me go and delete this new folder. Right click and delete. And I'm going to make sure that I click on content and now create a new folder. And I'm going to name this folder My Content. Now I want to place my maps into my content folder. Now inside my content, I want to create another new folder and name this Maps. And I'm going to take this blank map, left click and drag into the Maps folder and choose Move Here. So what we're doing now is we're simply organizing our content inside my content folder. And in here, you would create a textures folder, a materials folder, blueprints, audio, and so on. And then you would import and save all of those assets into their appropriate folder and organize your project a lot better. So let's go ahead and delete my maps. Right click and choose delete. Next, at the very top, you can search folders. So by typing in audio, this will search and locate a folder called audio. So this search field only searches folders, but if you want to search assets within those folders, you have to come over here and make sure that you select which folder you want to search. Let's select content, so we search entire content folder. And let's type in wall. This will search any object that contains the name wall. And in this case, we have a blueprint, a material, and the rest are static meshes. We can filter what type of content that we want to search and look for. Use the drop down menu and enable which asset you want to filter by. So let's say we just want materials. So this will find a wall, name, and search only materials. So let's go ahead and clear our search field. So now it is only filtering materials in the entire content folder, and it gives us all the materials available for this project. So you can filter by multiple assets, and you can continue and filter by other assets. So let's go ahead and reset this filter. The Add New button will allow you to create a new asset. such as a blueprint class, level, material, or any other asset that you see here. One thing to note that if you are going to use add new and create your own asset, you have to select a folder into which you want to save those new assets into. So if we were going to choose maps and we wanted to create a new map, we would simply choose the maps folder and then add new and create a level. And this goes for all other assets. Make sure you select the folder you want to create or import the new asset into. And the last option I want to cover is the view option right here on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is actually use this content browser folder view. So I'm going to close out this tab. In this view options menu, you can choose how you view the content inside the content browser. So currently we're using tiles. You can use lists, columns. You can enable to show certain folders, and you can set the scale of thumbnails. So let's go ahead and search for wall, and using the view options, we can make those thumbnails larger or smaller. And then you have two other options in which you can enable thumbnail edit mode, where you can edit the preview of that thumbnail, and enable real-time thumbnail. So the content browser is relatively simple, but it is extremely important in your environment creation process. So throughout this entire series, when we begin creating our environment, we'll be using the content browser a lot.